Do you remember that old vignette or that old track from maybe 2000, 2001? Like, I'm getting sick and tired of your broken promises, promises, or something like that. I'm getting sick and tired of your broken promises, promises. Looking at your page, you're seeing different numbers and numbers. Called you on the phone and you're hanging with the fellas and fellas, saying that you're something, something, but you're jealous, you're jealous. Like, we know who sang that song. We know who sang that hit song. We know that was a classic. But shout out to 3L Dubs. Shout out to 3L Dub. That was a classic group. Of course, this is Angels in Politics, the broadcast. Remember, always remember, you should definitely remember, for sure, you should remember that you are the news. That means you're important. That means it all revolves around you. That means it's all about you. That means everything, every day, every waking moment is about you. Things don't happen to you, things happen because of you. Make sure you know that. But with that being said, homegirl, I really want you to understand this. Even though you are that conductor, even though that you are that light, even though we just love it whenever you walk into the room because you have that presence, realize that you have special gifts, you have strengths, but I really want to go into like figuring out your weaknesses, right? And there are people out there that say, hey, just double down on your strengths and keep it going, or triple down on your strengths and keep it going, or go Grant Cardone and go times 10 with your strengths, or maybe not with your strengths, just with the massive action, and you'll figure it out from there. And I'm going to say all of that is correct. Put all of those things on the spectrum, everything, put that on that spectrum of consciousness. But I'm going to say, like, you don't lose anything by improving upon your shortcomings, your pitfalls, your weaknesses, right? Or, well, yeah, put that on the spectrum. And whilst you're like improving yourself, figure out how to align yourself with the individuals whose strengths are your weaknesses, so to speak. Well, not so to speak, exactly like that. You know, you may be the extroverted, gregarious, outspoken, loud, uh, flamboyant type, and your best partner, your best friend, your best teammate will be most likely the opposite, the antithesis of what you are. All right. That will be the introverted. That will be the more passive. That will be maybe not passive. Maybe they're just quieter. Maybe they're just like, they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be heard, and they prefer not being seen and heard because they are the methodical type. They are the logical type. They are the analytical type. They are the logistical type. They are the structural type. That is their archetype, and you find that being aware of your strengths and your weaknesses, and finding your middle ground and your balance and that equanimity, and finding that synergy between other individuals who share some of your weaknesses or share some of your strengths, but having that polarity is not only, it's not something that you should have. It's a necessity. It necessitates greatness. It necessitates an overall like tremendous level of achievement and accomplishment, because you are bringing, you know, all of the elements to the game. Like, if you are that water personality, if you are that smooth, calming, flowing personality, if you are that archetype, you need a grounded, earthy, strong partner with you. You need the wind. You need that scientific, analytical, a bit sporadic, a bit unhinged, archetype with you. You need the fire. You need that fiery, and you need that passion. You need that person who's going to turn shit up. And for some people, they were missing. They were thinking that they had to be all for it. And we all have on our spectrum of personality and our spectrum of consciousness on who we are as a person. We do fluctuate. We do have various moods that change throughout the day. Maybe we might start off pretty like stoic and grounded and firm and stubborn and with our decision making and with our belief systems, but then there are times where we are a bit more cool and we are a bit more standoffish, and we can go with the flow, right? We'll work on that. At the same time, that person who is cool, calm, and collected is somebody who's like, who has what they call ice water in their veins. Those people who are just, almost like nothing phases them. They just, it just rolls off of them. Sometimes those individuals need to flip that card and present you with the flame, present you with that fire, present you with that with that energy that maybe is unlike themselves. But with that being said, understand who you are. Understand who you are. Be comfortable with who you are. But when I say be comfortable, I don't want you to take that as like, okay, so this is just who I am and fuck it. I've always been irrational. I've always been, unhinged. I've always been a poor planner. So like, that's just how you're going to have to deal with me. It's like, no, like I'm not the best planner. I'm not, too keen on like overly preparing or just, having things in order as a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult. But I'm seeing now, still in my younger years or whatever that fucking means, like I'm starting to see now, like I need to improve on those things. Like I can't make concessions for my inadequacies. I can't make excuses. And what are excuses? Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build bridges to nowhere and they build monuments of nothingness. Okay, so I'll give you that one more time. Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build bridges to nowhere and they build monuments of nothingness. So it's like so many times you might hear motherfuckers speak to you in a direct like manner or in a straight face and look at you in the eyes and tell you, I can't do XYZ, and it's not that they cannot do it. They're just telling you that I refuse to put myself in that environment to fail. I refuse to put myself out there to fail. I refuse to have a breakdown in order for me to, experience a breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? Like there are so many people who will tell you straight up and they will articulate this, and when they articulate it, they want you to almost like stand back and be like, okay, like this is your justification for your shortcomings. This is you articulating your justification for your lack of performing or your lack of performance or your inadequate performance or just the fact that you fucking suck, bro. Like just work on that. Like, but so many people won't accept it, right? They won't accept it that it comes from them. So they'll say it wasn't me. It was because it was cold outside, and it was because I'm not really that good at blase blah. My mom, she was mean to me when I was a kid, and I never really had that support from my brother, and it was some other shit. It was always some other shit. It was always some external factor as to reason as you have explained to us, as you have manifested through your behaviors, through your behavioral actions, through your conduct. This is the reason why, shit isn't going your way. This is the reason why you're not making money hand over fist and kneecap. This is the reason why you haven't, aligned yourself with your purpose, and the reason why you haven't activated your divine masculinity. This is the reason why, you have articulated, you haven't just said, yo, bro, I fucked up. I messed up. It is what it is. I will improve upon it. I will make sure it doesn't happen again. But in order for you to do that, that means you have to be accountable and you have to take ownership. And if you take ownership, that means you take ownership of everything. Once again, things don't happen to you. Things happen because of you. When people explain that things happen to them, oh, I would have been there, but my car got a flat tire. I would have made it, but I had to step outside and I lost track of time because I was hitting the weed. I would have, giving you pleasure, homegirl, but for some reason I must have drank too much, and my tongue wasn't as strong as I thought it was, and I couldn't find your clitoris. Like, whatever the case may be, like, just say, like, it's so hard. Not like the Boyz II Men song. It's not so hard to get to say goodbye, but it's so hard for people to, especially men, because I think we have to have this external, rough or tough machismo, bravado, this shield of armor that says, we're tough and we're emotionless, but really the guys who say they're emotionless are the most emotional motherfuckers of all time, because they say, oh man, I don't care, and this doesn't affect me, until they find out that their girlfriend is sucking somebody else's dick, and then they're ready to fight, or they're ready to shoot somebody. Oh, not the girl. They won't. They're not turned up with the girl. They're ready to fight somebody else, because they're not ready to accept the fact that, well, maybe she's fucking some other dude because of my shortcomings. Maybe she's out sucking somebody else's dick because maybe I'm not putting it down the way I thought I was, or maybe I'm not as cool as I thought I was, or maybe it's my relationships, or my emotional stability, my social stability, my economic capabilities, my mental, psychological, spiritual abilities aren't as optimal as I thought it was. So maybe I'm just not firing off on all fucking cylinders like I thought I would be, because I live in this world whereby I can't speak to my inadequacies, because in order for me to speak to them, I must be accountable for them. So I'm just gonna pretend like they're not fucking there. Do you know anybody like that? Have you met anybody like that? Have you seen anybody like that? Have you spoken with a motherfucker like that? So it's like, I know it's difficult to like tell somebody like, yo, man, like, I need to get better. I know it's hard to tell somebody like, yo, I know the exact reason why I have this, beer belly. I know the exact reason why I'm a young woman and I get uncomfortable when I see the hot girls walking by with their, tube dresses and stuff like that. I know the reason. The reason is because, like, they might be younger, but those girls probably, ran cross country in high school, and they probably stuck with it, and they probably go to yoga 3 times a week, and they probably don't eat the same shit I eat, right? They're aware of what it is. They just won't speak to it, because that means they have to take ownership of the fact that it's like, hey, I don't want to do it. Like, I saw on my fucking timeline, people was like, yo, I'm aware that exercise benefits your health, benefits your mental health, because everybody's talking about mental health nowadays. We're aware that running benefits your mental health. We're aware that exercise on a daily basis improves drastically your lifespan, your heart, your mind, your body, all types of preventable diseases. We are aware that fucking doing these things helps you tremendously, considerably. It's just the fact that we don't like it. I mean, it hurts. I mean, it's cold outside. I mean, why would I want to run 2 or 3 miles whenever I can just eat Five Guys? Why would I want a kale salad with pecans and fucking quinoa and tomato and wheatgrass and all kinds of things that sound disgusting, when I can have a Philly cheesesteak with curly fries? Like, I mean, come on, that's like a no-brainer. Like, why would I admit to the fact that, like, I know those entrepreneurs and those guys who write books like How to Be a Fucking Millionaire have written out the fucking blueprint as to how I can be a millionaire and start my own business and have my own startup and get funding for my startup, because I don't need funding for my startup, because if it's that good and I push my shit and I know how to optimize my shit and I know what I'm doing and I align myself with people who not only share the same passion, but have skill sets and abilities and capabilities that I don't have, then I might be able to quit my motherfucking 9-to-5 job too. Maybe I won't be working for the quote-unquote man too, or let's be gender neutral, the woman too. Maybe I can get off my ass and not be asking for my girlfriend for money, or my husband for money, or my father for money, or my uncle for money, or whoever male that subsidizes my lifestyle, because that's what a lot of women have, or that's what a lot of men have too. Let's be honest. There's always somebody paying for some shit whenever you're being lazy and whenever you're being unaccountable. Somebody's paying for it. You can be a grown-ass man, and I've seen my homies like living on their friend's couch, you know? And it's like, oh man, are you living on this couch because, you know, you're working on your business or you're working on your startup? You're out there like building yourself up. You're out here pushing your brand. You're out here like, you know, making ends meet. And it's like, oh nah, like that motherfucker's just chilling. Nah, he's just chilling. Like, he's okay with it. I mean, like, why would he get out of his comfort zone and really chase his dreams whenever, like, I can just have my whoever it is take care of me? You know what I'm saying? Just take care of the bill. You know, just, you know, I can have whoever drive me around. I don't want to have autonomy. I don't want to have freedom. I don't want to accept my shortcomings, because if I do, then that means I have to figure the fuck out how I can improve upon those things. You feel what I'm saying? So, know who you are. Know who you are, work on who you are, continue to cultivate who you are. Understand that life is about relationships. Life is about cultivating relationships. Life is about sustaining relationships. Life is about aligning yourself with people who are doing better than you, are doing things differently than you. We understand that like-minded people associate themselves with each other, but if you understand that you are the sum of all your parts, if you understand that you are the sum of the books you read and the people you associate yourself with, if you know that, if you fucking know that, and you realize that, yo, I'm a person who doesn't really read books, and if I'm the sum of the associate, if I'm the aggregate, or if I'm the average of the people that I associate myself with, and they're all just doing okay for themselves, then you're going to be an okay-ass motherfucker. And that's okay for you, but I won't allow that. I won't allow that. Because I know you're smarter. I know you're competent. I know you're intelligent. I know you're extremely industrious. But you're not going to sit there and play that game on me as if this is just how it goes, because this is not how it fucking goes. This is not how it goes. Improve upon yourself. If you are that person who's like, the last fucking thing I could possibly do in my life would be to sit down on the floor and close my eyes and meditate for 5 minutes. The last thing, like, it will literally take the soul out of my body to open a fucking book and read something that could change my life, to change and improve my situation. That is the last thing I could ever do, because you know what? I could die if I just had to run outside. If I not even run outside, just start off in walking outside. Like, that would be the worst thing I could do, is just to try to do some push-ups in my living room, because I don't need to pay for a gym fucking membership. I could exercise here, but it's just the fact that it makes me so fucking uncomfortable, and I just don't want to do it, and I just hate it. You need to align yourself with somebody like me, because evidently you might have gifts that I don't have. Maybe you are a spectacular planner. Maybe you have an innate ability to draw, or you have, you know, this graphic ability to construct, you know, design in a way that I've never seen, or people have never seen, or the world has ever seen. Like, listen, I'm not gonna harp on this, but if improving your mind, body, and soul is so out of your scope, I would hope and I would pray that your spiritual gifts, you know, I talk about your archetypal hero, you know, I talk about like being self-actualized, manifesting your dreams. I would hope that your superpowers are so motherfucking super. I mean, your superpowers are so super and so powerful that it just like takes you to the moon and back. I'm talking like you have something in you that is so unbelievable, inconceivable, unfathomable, that I need to find you, or you need to find me, and we need to work together, because oh my gosh, I can't even imagine it.